Good morning from Alesha Brown, the Joy Guru. Have a couple of minutes as I'm headed off to church, but I had to get this message out of my spirit, and I wanted to share it with you as I'm on my way. One of the things I had to resolve this morning in my meditation time, sometimes it's the most obvious things that are right there in front of us. We have warnings, but because of our attachment, because of our love, we just don't heed them. So, it's one particular person. I love them to life. They are wonderful. They are such a knowledgeable, gifted, talented, funny person with so much to offer. But after years and years and years and years of close relationship, and get this in mind, I'm not ending the relationship. Very good resource is someone that I hold dear like family. But I finally had to come to the conclusion today in my meditation time with God that I have to just give this person over to Him. Now, friends, family, those we love and cherish, as well as really the world, we're supposed to pray for. The closer you are, the more you know certain things, and then you see certain things that you will lift them up in prayer. But what I realized I had to come to grips with is this person, for whatever reason, lives in a pseudo reality. I noticed it with one area, but what I realized, and this is a lesson in life, when you refuse to address certain things, sometimes it's just easier for us to live in a fantasy world. Sometimes it's easier to pretend. Sometimes it's easier to look at something and just be all googly and starry-eyed instead of admitting the truth of what the reality is. And I saw where this person did this in one area, but I realized slowly that it was spilling over to a lot of areas. They were making choices to just stop at a time where everything was good, everything was going the way they wanted it to go, and just focus on those good moments in life. It was like the pain of things that happened after that and fractured them. They didn't want to address that. And unfortunately, like many of us, they felt like, I'm healed from that. I've gotten over that. I'm beyond that. But really, life has shown that you're not. And then the things that have not healed, I see we're now in a new area of your life. You are taking that into that. So without giving you all the details, you're basically living in a fantasy world. And you know what? A little imagination is good for all of us. But if you continue to stay in a pseudo reality, just so you can soothe those wounds and not deal with certain issues, it only hurts you more in the end. It only, you can only delay reality for so long before you have to face it. So I just learned, I won't say learned, I came to the realization of that I have to resign this person over to God. Still will be around that person, still support them, still love on them. Not like, certain people where you realize you have to just remove them from your life. But what I realize is that I have to realize who I'm dealing with. And I can't have certain expectations like I would place on a regular person, because I have to acknowledge where this person is, and I have to make that choice to love them where they are. So, it's some of those things where, we make certain choices where we see and we don't see. We hear and we don't hear. And then we really look for those things that we need to be concerned with and the things that we need to realize, and then we lift them in prayer. So it's heart-wrenching for me. I'm a person that, takes things straight to the heart, because and I'll tell you the reason why it's really heart-wrenching, because I realize in all of this situation, this person, and I believe it's unbeknown to them, they're dealing with some mental health challenges. I really, and I don't say that lightly, because I don't think mental wellness is something we need to joke with. I don't think mental illness is something we need to laugh at. Some of us all at times need some therapy. We all need to maybe get a checkup based on things we're experiencing and have went through in certain traumas. But I realize this person is dealing with some mental health issues. I really believe it's unbeknownst to them, and because they refuse to face reality, they're not going to get help. So that's the place where I'm at today. And, it's really hard to know that someone's hurting, to know someone needs help. But because of the fact, that they refuse to admit where they are, they prefer to live in a fantasy world. They don't want to deal with the pain. If they did admit that things are not okay and the fantasy world that they've made up, if they had to deal with those things are not true, it would be heartbreaking and crushing for them. So I guess right now this is their little safe haven, their treasure island. But it really hurts when you see a person doing that, and it's not going to end well. Nothing good can come from it. You see the frustration, you see the heartache, you see the pain, but they are still at a place where they want to admit truth. And you can't make anyone see truth if that is not something that they want to see. So I'm lifting that person in prayer. I'm trying to still love on them and wish the best for them. But I just wanted to, I hope this wasn't rambling. I hope you really got the essence of what I wanted to share. Just that, no matter how much you love someone, some things you just can't fix. And sometimes when people refuse to face reality, you still have to love them. You might still want to support them, and you can do that. But you need to be clear about what you're dealing with and what is the remedy. And you're not a therapist. So you can't be their therapist. You can't fix it. You almost have to resign them to just live in the fantasy world that they want to live in until they're ready to get help. Some things you can't fix until a person is ready to address them and ready to deal with them and get the help they need. So I wanted to share that with you today, especially if it was heavy on my heart. There's no shame in that. There's no shame in being free to release people. Being free to release people from the life that you want for them versus the life that they've already chosen. And we all have to do that. There's no reason for someone to live in a fantasy world and for you to allow them to pull you into it. And then you both have a sickness. It's better that one of you is well and one of you is sick, and you're there when they're ready to help them get the help they need. So that was what was on my spirit this morning. Just want to share that with you guys. I hope everything is well. And as always, I hope you have a joy-filled day. Be blessed.